Okay, I have it recording here at City Hall.
All right, who's leading the meeting for the board?
Not me.
Oh, Heidi, you have to.
I don't have nothing like cheat notes with me this time around.
Me either.
And I'm doing this off my cell phone, so it's very difficult.
Melissa Cheslock is joining the meeting now.
Oh, good, Melissa gets to do it then.
It's the day Melissa. Or Ben, you and.
Now can you hear me?
I can
Yep,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Okay.
You get to lead the meeting, Melissa.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. One second.
Someone just called in from 593-2929. Could I get your name, please? I can't hear you. You'll need to unmute. Yep, you should be unmuted now.
Interpreter, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
National Support not Gua. What no? In English, please. Let them know you're the interpreter. Okay, I'm sorry. Hi, this is your morning interpreter ID 21555. How may I help you?
Hi. Ma'am, you will be interpreting poor Yi Yang. He is our first person on the agenda. We are just getting the meeting started. So when we get to Mr. Yang, you will be asked to interpret for him.
Sure, yes.
Just a quick question, if I may. Did we already call a meeting to order, or are you guys just sunning me? We're waiting for you to call it to order. Okay. I'm calling the meeting of the Green Bay Sex Offender Residency Board for August the 11th, 2020. Let's see, first things first, I guess we need roll call.
I don't see Heidi and Ed logged in for voting.
It says I'm logged in.
Right.
I'm just telling you what I see, otherwise the votes won't come to you.
When I click on my name in the upper right-hand corner, it says account settings, email preferences, health videos, or log out.
Can you log out and log back in?
Try that.
Okay. My name shows up.
Okay, did you join the meeting?
Oh yeah, where do I do that at?
When you first log in, a window should come up showing that, and then you have to hit join meeting.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
and you're-
come up for me.
Ed, you just joined.
Good, okay.
I'm gonna try again. I have, it shows up, do I wanna leave the meeting? Why don't you leave and then log back on? Now?
Yep, you're in.
Okay.
I can just take a snippet for who's here for roll call.
Melissa Cheslock here.
Becky in here.
Heidi Michael here.
Ed Dorf here.
Dave Borschinger here.
Okay, and if we move on to approval of the agenda, we need a motion.
There was a request by Attorney Megan Carollo to take agenda item 9 earlier in the meeting. We have an interpreter for agenda item 1, but if there's a motion, we could put agenda item 9 into the second spot.
Anybody wish to make an motion? To make a motion?
I'll make
Is
the
there-
motion.
Is there a second? I believe it.
Who seconded? Okay.
Okay, and approval of the minutes?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
All right, we can take a voice vote to approve that one.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Hearing nothing,
Okay, excellent.
motion passes. Let's move on to regular business. Item 1, the appeal of Por Yi Yang, requesting to move to 1100 North Van Buren Avenue, Apartment 1. And Mr. Yang, you're appearing by way of an interpreter, is that correct?
Yeah. Nhưng mà con nó của okay mà
Madam Interpreter, we need a response from the interpreter. His response is yes, that he was appearing with an interpreter.
Cái cái lần hai thì có nhớ hồ số không nó tiết thì sao rồi giờ họ đua nó tiết cho ít từ phải lùng ra bây giờ.
nhưng mà
Yes.
Okay. And let's see. And before we begin, Mr. Oops, move something around. Before we begin, Mr. Yang, I want to let you know that before you have the right to have your treatment history addressed in private session. Do you wish to do that in private, or is public okay?
Đây, tôi xin chào quý vị. Tôi đã có một điều như này, phải chân được có một kho món đây nó, kho món không dừng nhà ta lo lời kho phải tấm mình nói có ta thì như chỉ phải thả cho đi trồng táo rồi giờ phải như nó thả cho kho sữa.
thả cho lớp báo tôm mà
In public is it is fine too.
And just for the record, Madam Interpreter, your name?
It is spelled C as in zebra, A as in apple, R as in Robert.
And what language are you interpreting?
Mong, H-M-O-N-G.
Okay, thank you. And let's see. It appears as though Mr. Yang was last here before the board on June 10th, 2020, and you were denied because you did not provide proof of completion of your sex offender treatment. And is that correct?
Sẽ có lúc cho bên tuวันที่1ดอกแล้วเจก็หลอนที่จำพวกแต่ชิมาส่งดาวนะจิมันจะต้องแบบเพียจะก็ตึ้งหมู่เจ้าเลยตาก็เกิดตั้งแต่เจว่านี่นอจะพูดอยู่ดังที่นั่นนอก็จะเต้าหมู่แล้วก็จิมันขอว่าก็พอเท่าเพียนแต่ละเดียว
nhưng mà
Correct.
Okay. And it appears as though since the last time you were before the board, you submitted a report or letter from Mr. Jim Drake, is that correct?
แต่เขาก็ตัวที่จำพวกตาบเราก็คงไม่เห็นแต่ดูควรเชื่อมเทรนนอชาวระเบียง
nhưng mà
Okay,
Yes.
and I'm sorry, go ahead. Interpreter?
He just said yes.
Okay. Okay, let's see. And the letter or document from Mr. Drake stated in part that Mr. Yang self-reported to the court regarding his sex offense, and he was referred to Family Services, and that you admitted that you had problems with alcohol. Is that correct?
这个里呢，相当的就Mr. Drake 呢，你上下些，就Mr. 亚了，就怎么亚呢？你就一直进来，你呢，或有么我进来，你打领导是你不杀，你呢就就怎么亚呢？我只了考了路中跑过，咱们这个是说，不要领导。这个打领导你还接呢，我咱们后背后交了不要。
要么
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
这不我罗真弄啊。
I guess I'm kind of confused what the original motion was. I mean, it says one was approved, one was denied. Was he denied to live there until he provided the documentation?
Right, that was at the last, in June, he didn't have any documentation for treatment, and so he was denied until he brought the treatment,
Okay,
is how I remember it.
okay.
这个不到高阶中国的还是有搞我那个到我要和超到了呀，到那些你要去到外人到那边的，你是木考的呀，木做了啥，从那些你那莫丁能走这方这站到了了不要。
要么
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions about the documentation provided to the board from Mr. Yang?
I have a question about the self-reporting, because in one place it sounded like the police were called, and then there was a long period of time between, the offense and the conviction.
What is your question?
My question is to clarify the self-reporting part.
I think you need, because we have an interpreter, you'll have to ask a more direct question so the interpreter can translate that.
Okay. Did Mr. Yang report the incident? Or did Mr. Yang report the incident, and who did he report it to?
แต่ขอตั้งหนึ่งดาวชูชีนะก็ปวดต้องหมุกเคียนเรื่องชื่อแล้วก็เคียนอะไรเรื่องชื่อ
เขาก็ชุกชินแล้วเนาะ
You mean the situation, the incident?
Yes.
Which incident,
Yeah,
for
ma'am.
clarification?
แต่ก็
The sexual offense.
โอ้ยก็มุมมองดูนะก็เคียนเรื่องชื่อนะ
sau khi trả lời chuyện nhóm trả lời vấn đề của sao
No, I have not reported to anybody for whatever sudden that they just came and arrested me.
Arrested you for what?
แล้วเด็กก็ว่าใช่ไหม
chứ họ của sau này là chuyện vấn đề của nó
Well, because of the assault or the sound that I have, they arrested me.
Are you talking about the sexual assault or a different, was this? Are you talking about the sexual assault?
ก็ใครซึ่งแบบเพราะก็มุดังอยู่ตรงนั้นเปียก็มุมองดังอยู่ตรงนั้นเปีย
do mà
Yes, correct. The sexual assault.
Okay. And just so I'm clear, because You were charged in Brown County and you were convicted in Brown County in a 2011 case for first-degree sexual assault on a minor who was under the age of 13, okay? So that's where the confusion is about you self-reporting, because the court already knew that you committed this crime, and in fact, you pled guilty or no contest. Isn't that correct?
그래서 article 2는 여기서 Brown County那个某一种名人才的某个意向，que可能要考考会要考检查那边，que no hay mucho lucido con ella na边.
Llamo.
Yes, sir.
Did the court order you to complete sex offender treatment?
Sau đó sản xuất có một phần trong đời cái mò chính hình của trong mò cái thầu cái nọ và của sản có một cỡ.
Là sao mà cũng chỉ tao phải cờ mà.
Có thứ sau một cỡ đó.
Là sao cũng phải cờ thì cũng chỉ phải cờ mà.
Yes, they did order and I did take the course.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Does anyone have any additional questions?
I guess I just kind of want to make a clarification here because I think I'm confused between what Faye asked and what you asked. It seems to me that Faye is asking about this self-reporting, which I'm assuming she's reading that from the Family Services Treatment Summary. But Melissa, you make it sound like he reported to the courts that he did this. Am I missing something?
That, okay. My understanding in the court system here is that you will, to self-report to Family Services, you either self-report or to take sex offender treatment, or the court orders you to do it.
Okay, and that, you could be right, but what this report, if you read this entirely, the doctor is saying that he's self-reporting this because he does not have documentation of the actual criminal complaint. So everything that is in the summary is based on what Mr. Yang is telling him. That's the self-reporting.
Okay,
Okay, I just want to make that clear.
that makes complete sense.
Yes, thank you, that helps me, yes.
Okay.
So, which I find troubling because if the therapist did not have the underlying documentation from the case file, and he's solely relying on the statements of Mr. Yang, that doesn't seem to be necessarily a complete treatment because people who are convicted need to be confronted and admit to their crimes that they committed in court, that they admitted in court to doing or were found guilty of via trial. So regardless, that's what the documents say.
But in the fourth paragraph, Mr. Drake does address that this is based on Mr. Yang's self-report due to me not receiving any court report describing a sexual offense with his stepsister. I indicated that I would include this in the report, and if for some reason his self-report does not correlate with the materials related to the court based on victim statements or the nature of the sexual offense, I would negate my recommendations, and of course I would have to further assess and evaluate. So he addressed that.
Mm-hmm. Right, so because we don't have, we really don't know.
But according to the last, and I wasn't at the last meeting, but it appears that when we questioned the Green Bay police officer, what Mr. Yang reported is exactly what happened. There were no discrepancies here. Or again, am I missing something?
Not from my recollection.
Okay.
he tell us if that's what happened?
He's on, I just unmuted him.
Oh,
And for clarification, let's please refrain from discussing or identifying the relationship or the names of the victim to the appellant or the applicant.
All right, Commander Abel, are you on the call?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, so, as far as the disclosure went to reporting, it was a mandatory reporter who had reported it to CPS. The two narratives from the victim and the suspect, in this case, Mr. Yang, is it, are pretty similar.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions of the commander? Does anybody else have any additional concerns or statements or comments or questions? I will say that for me, my concern is, if I remember correctly, because I prepared some of these cases a while back after Deanna sent them out, is that alcohol was involved, if I remember, and there was a breakup that Mr. Yang said was the precipitating force in all this. And my concern is that since this date, in fact, let's go back, we have recent cases, one from 2020, one from 2019, I believe. Let me double check. Cases that involve alcohol, continuous use of alcohol, such as operating while intoxicated. We have 2020 case involve criminal damage to property. I believe that's a completed case now. Let's see, where was the other one? And in any event, that's my concern, that we have continued alcohol, abuse of alcohol. And that was one of the factors that caused, according to Mr. Yang, him to commit the crime. And if I remember correctly from the last time Mr. Yang was here, his family is not supporting him any longer. His brother, I believe, was here, but that, don't see that there's anyone here ready to speak on his behalf. So that's my concern, is his lack of support. And let's see, I think there was something else. I don't believe Mr. Yang has a job, or maybe he did get a job recently. Mr. Yang, did you receive, do you have employment now?
现在在新加坡不摸路过了。
Yeah, that's no, just tao lửa qua mà.
Yes, I found a job.
Where is the job?
我在那路过个这里。
Của là taco.
Taco.
Okay, and how long have you been working there?
我做好了张来放这样，可能。
Chua tao lỏng không có đi nữa.
Almost 2 months.
Okay. And do you have any interaction or communication with your family since the last time you were?
你还个记了个，工作个材料。
Là chiều thế à, mua lửa thế cho nó cũng không chạy nhau đấy.
I'm looking, I don't have a place to live.
I'm sorry?
I am working and I do not have a place to live.
Okay. Does he have any contact with his family?
但是那个我知道你这个几个你嘛，
때려보고 그때 또 빠고 때마
I do call my dad occasionally to help me.
대신 원래 때려면 또 빠고 있어.
But he's working, so it's just occasionally.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions or any concerns? Okay, hearing nothing, does anyone wish to make a motion?
Do we have anyone speaking either for or against?
I didn't see anyone listed.
Okay. I just wanted to check.
Thank you. Any motion?
I'm gonna make a motion to approve Mr. Yang to address specific 1100 North Van Buren Avenue.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, you should have the vote. Motion passes 4-1.
Okay, Mr. Yang, you've been approved to the address that you requested. And would you like the documentation letter sent to that address?
Okay,
Yeah.
但是呢，来叫个么样的话，叫样个到那个不那个上到这个。
쌈다 또다고 따마 5천원 대구 25층
Yes, please mail it to me. I don't have a place to live, so yes, I wanted to live there. Please send the information to me.
Okay, well, you've been granted permission to live there.
对，但是呢，就在一个不娘不在那儿呢。
나 5천원 5천원 줬도래 5천원 더
Thank you to all of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next individual is Ignacio Vallarta, requesting to move to 2409 Manitowoc Road.
Yes.
And I believe, Mr. Vallarta, you have an attorney with you as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Just before we proceed, please do not refer to the victim by name or by relationship to you. So don't say, for example, sister, mother, daughter, whatever, brother. In addition to that, you have the right to have your treatment discussed in private or in public. How do you wish to proceed?
Public, no matter.
Okay.
Hey, ma'am, do you still want my interpretation?
Oh, no.
This is on the line.
No, thank you very much.
I'm going to dismiss myself. My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And Mr. Vallarta, what is the name of your attorney?
Megan.
Last name, please?
Corolla.
Okay, and can you spell that?
She's right here next to me.
Yeah.
For you, it's Carollo.
And how do you spell Megan?
It's Megan.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And let's see. Mr. Vallarta, you are requesting to move to, let's see if I can find it, 2409 Manitowoc Road, as I previously stated. And could you tell us briefly, or tell us about your sex offense?
The sex offender is technically sexual assault. Girlfriend was underage when I had my first daughter.
Okay, and what exactly was the crime? What are the facts behind the crime? And again, please don't discuss the relationship so that your victim is identified.
Sounds good. Well, I met her at a club. We were dating. Bella knew about it. Her mom backed it up.
Please don't, okay,
Oh, so I'm sorry.
yeah.
Oh, so we had somebody back it up too. She was underage. I was older, not. I mean, but she was 14 and I was 19 at the time. She got pregnant, had my first daughter with her back in 2010.
Okay. And how old was she when she had the baby?
15.
Did you say you met her at a club?
Yes.
What kind of club?
There was a Mexican club that was open here in the pier. We used to be called Palucas. It's not open anymore.
Okay. And let's see, Commander, that description of the facts, is that the same as what you have in your reports or in the complaint?
Yes. You're talking to me?
No, Commander Abel.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Melissa, he may not have anything, because Mr. Velarda has come in front of the board before, so this isn't his first time,
Okay.
so Commander Abel may not have his information in front of him.
Okay. Alrighty, does anyone have any questions?
Is it your wife, fiance, girlfriend? Who is buying the house?
My girlfriend, my fiance.
Okay.
We bought the property already. Well, she did. She has it.
Okay.
And you're just requesting to move in with her, and
Correct. And my daughter.
is this the same daughter or a different daughter?
Different daughter.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions about treatment?
I would just like to say I don't really have anything to say. He's been before the board several occasions, so I don't need to hear really anything.
Okay. All right, does anyone have a motion?
Is there anyone to speak?
Or, I'm sorry, speak.
I'm not sure if the members of the board got it. His girlfriend was going to be here today if she could, but was not able to get off of work. I did just send a letter from her, but that too would have spoken on his behalf.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Mr. Vallarta to move to 2409 Manitowoc Road, Green Bay, address specific.
Is there a second?
I will second.
All right, you should have the vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, Mr. Vallarta, you've been approved to live at that address on Manitowoc Road. Where would you like the documentation sent? To your current address that we have, or the one on Manitowoc Road?
Manitowoc Road, please.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for accommodating me.
No worries, thank you. Okay, now just so everyone's aware, on the agenda, original items number 2 and number 3, the two applicants are requesting to reside together at that location. Okay, so let's, Mr. Brian Blodgett. Are you there?
Yes.
Hi. Okay, one moment. Okay, Mr. Blodgett. As I stated before, please, when we're discussing the facts about your crime, please do not mention the victim or anyone by name.
Okay.
Not describe them as according to your relationship to them, whether it was brother, sister, aunt, uncle, what have you. And the other question, or a question I have for you is, do you wish to discuss this, your treatment in public or in private session?
Public is fine.
Okay. And you are requesting to move to 332 South Chestnut Avenue in Green Bay?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. See. And could you please tell us about your underlying offense? Underlying sex offense?
Yes, it was a first-degree sexual assault of a child under the age of 13,
And how old were you at that time?
approximately 28.
And what happened? Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
I met this person when he was approximately 10 years old, through a program here in town. He had moved in and out of Green Bay area several times. He came back when he was 13, and that's when the assault started.
What kind of program?
It was the Big Brothers program.
And can you tell us exactly, were you his big brother?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And can you tell us what happened?
I'm sorry. He was having sex education classes in school, and we were talking about it, different things, and which led to masturbation with each other.
Was this on one occasion or more than one occasion?
That would be more than one.
Does anyone else have any questions for Mr. Blodgett?
How did it come to light? Did he go to the police? What happened?
That is correct, yeah. After about, I think it was about 9 years later, he did go to the police.
Did you admit your guilt right away?
No, not at first. That was by recommendation of my lawyer.
So is that you eventually pled guilty or no contest, or were you convicted by a trial?
I was convicted by a trial.
Okay. Let's see, and what was your sentence? I'm sorry.
21 years.
And what? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
It was 21 years, of which I served 14 years and 11 months.
Is the remainder on extended supervision?
Yes, it is.
So that means you'll be out of supervision when?
Approximately 3.5 years, in January of 2025, I believe it is.
And Commander Abel, is Mr. Blodgett's discussion or statement of the facts the same as what you have before you in a police report?
Okay, what I have before me, if you can hear me?
Yes.
Want to verify? Okay, what I have before me in the criminal complaint was that it was multiple times, and it involved more than just masturbation, it also involved oral sex. And it was over several years.
Approximately how many years did it occur, Mr. Blodgett?
It started in August of 94 to August of 96.
Okay, thank you.
Why did it stop?
Why did it stop? Because he moved out of the area again.
Any questions or additional questions?
I'm saying you had treatment while you were in prison and you completed treatment after in the community?
Yes, that is correct.
Can you tell us, please, Mr. Blodgett, you're asking to basically move in with your partner, Mr. McGowan. How long have you known each other?
It will be exactly a year on Saturday, this Saturday.
And how is it that you happened to meet?
Through a mutual friend from the TLP when Sean was living there.
Okay. Now, what type of treatment have you received? I'm showing that you're attending treatment now, but you haven't been receiving treatment since approximately March. Is that correct?
Yes, because of the COVID cases, the meetings were canceled.
Okay. So, just to be clear, you did or did not complete sex offender treatment while in custody?
Yes, I did. That was through New Lisbon Correctional Institute.
And that was SOT 2?
Yes, correct.
So what are you taking right now? What are you involved with?
It's still SOT 2. I felt I didn't get that much out of the group in prison, just because of the setting and everything else, that I had actually more to talk about. So talking with Kimberly Schultz, my PO, I volunteered to go through group again.
Okay. And are you working now?
Yeah.
Okay, and where are you working?
I am currently a plant facilitator at Solon Partners in Denmark.
And how long have you been working there?
Since August of last year.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I started out as temporary employment through Seek at Solon. They hired me on early, and I progressed through the ranks to plant facilitator now.
Any idea when you're going to resume your treatment?
In talks with my parole officer, Kim, she mentioned that she thought I was done with Pablo through Hanger. I emailed her earlier this week asking for clarification or proof of that I finished it, and I have not received anything from her. Other people from the group that I do talk to said they have regularly been in meetings with him. He has not contacted me at all, so I'm assuming that I am through with it, but I have no proof of that.
Is that something you want to continue?
I am willing to, yes.
Okay. So I guess the answer to my question would be no, you don't want to continue, but if you were asked to continue, you would.
No, I've talked to my PO about going on to other groups as well after this one is finished.
Okay, what kind of groups?
I'm not really sure. Whatever is available to me at my disposal. Again, I've been talking to Kimberly about it on several occasions.
And would that be sex offender groups or some other different type of groups?
Sex offender would be fine, but I don't know what's out there, to be honest. But yes, I am willing to participate.
Any other questions?
When did you get released from prison?
Would have been December 11th of 2018.
And where have you resided that whole time?
For 2 months, I was at the TLP on Shawano Avenue, and since February of 19, I've been living at the Arena Motel.
Okay.
Any other questions? Mr. Blodgett, in my experience, and this is only for me, I haven't encountered a situation in which there were two individuals who are sex offenders who wish to reside together at the same location. And it appears as though you and Mr. McGowan have the same support network, is that correct?
Yes, it is. Between my sister, a family friend, and Sean's dad, and the rest of my family who live out of town. But I have my two sisters here that would like to share information as well.
Okay. Now, what happens if, well, first of all, have you ever resided together before?
At this point, no, because that's not allowed at the Arena Motel. But because Sean is considered homeless, he does live with my sister.
Where does your sister reside?
In Alloway?
And you said you've been together for a year?
Yes, that is correct. It'll be a year this Saturday.
Anything else, anyone? And as you said, I believe you have people who wish to speak on your behalf, is that correct?
Yes, I have my sister Barbara that would like to speak.
And Deanna or Rachel, is Barbara listed, or?
No, I just need first and last name and home address.
Oh, he's on mute. Let me try and unmute him. Mr. Blodgett, you're on mute.
Okay, hi, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. And can you tell us your first and last name, please, and spell them?
Barbara Burkhart, Burkart.
And your address, please?
2680 Beaumont Street,
And is that in the city of Green Bay?
Village of Alloway.
Village of Alloway, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And you wish to speak on behalf of your brother, Mr. Blodgett?
Yes, Brian's been home with us for about a year and a half now. He's been in a stable relationship with Sean for a year. Sean has been staying here 6 nights out of 7. Brian is a third shift plant manager, so he drops Sean off here on his way to work and picks him up again in the morning. We've been doing that for a lot of months now, which has kind of been a good thing because we've got to know Sean very well also, and Sean's dad. And we call it our quirky little family because that's exactly us. Brian's been at the Arena for a long time, and he's got a solid job, no debt, great credit reference, and this would be like a stepping stone for them before home ownership again. Brian used to own his home, so that's something that he's working towards. And I guess that's about it, unless you've got some questions.
Do any of the board members have questions? Okay, nobody seems to have any questions for you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Burkhart. Is there anyone else who's here to speak on your behalf, Mr. Blodgett?
No, the other person, Terry, will speak for Sean.
Okay, thank you. Okay, does anyone wish to make a motion?
I move to approve address specific.
Is there a second?
Is that to 332 South Chestnut Avenue? Just to clarify, the address on the record?
I think so. Is that the correct address?
That's where he applied for, yes.
Yes, it is correct.
Is there a second? Hearing no second, that motion fails. Does anybody else have a motion they'd like to make? I will make a motion to approve address specific for a period of 4 months. And as a 4-month date, I'd ask that you return Mr. Blodgett just to make sure everything is going well. Because my concern is that you can be in a relationship with someone for over a year, but unless or until you live together, that's when rubber meets the road, so to speak. And that would be my concern. Is there a second?
I will second that.
All right, you should have the vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, Mr. Blodgett, you've been approved to reside at 332 South Chestnut Avenue. You'll receive some documentation in the mail. What address would you like that sent to? The 332 South Avenue, Chestnut Avenue address?
No, if I could have it sent to the 2680 Beaumont. The apartment actually is not ready to move into yet. It's been under construction, and because of COVID, all that other stuff, it's gonna be maybe another month yet before it's ready.
Okay. And you will have to return in 4 months, and we're going to see how you're doing. And if you'd like to bring, or provide the law department, any additional documentation, regarding your job or anything like that, anything you want us to know about, please provide it to the law department prior to your next hearing date, okay?
Very good. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, 1 moment. Okay, next for the board is Mr. McGowan, Sean McGowan. Mr. McGowan, I'm not sure if you listened before, but I just want to repeat that when you discuss the facts behind your sex offense, please do not refer to the victim by his or her first name. Do not refer to that person by their relationship to you, cousin, niece, aunt, nephew, what have you. And can you tell us right now whether or not you would wish to discuss your treatment in person or in private session?
In person is fine, please.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry, in public, I'm sorry.
Yes, in public is fine, yes, thank you.
Okay, and as we stated during Mr. Blodgett's hearing, you wish to move to 332 South Chestnut Avenue in Green Bay, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. And can you tell us, please, about your sex offense?
Yes, ma'am. I was charged and convicted of child enticement in 2007.
Okay, and how old was the victim at that time?
6 years old.
And how old were you at that time?
27.
Thank you. And can you tell us how the incident or the sex offense was brought to the attention of the police department?
Yes, ma'am. Am I allowed to say the victim?
Sure.
Okay. The victim made mention to her family of a sexual assault, and the family in turn notified police and authorities regarding this.
Okay, can you tell us, was this a one-time incident or was this continued activity?
One-time incident.
And what happened?
This was a sexual trauma and a sexual assault to my victim.
Factually, what happened?
Okay, with use of a sex toy while the victim was visiting me at my house for a weekend in Green Bay, Brown County.
Mm-hmm. Was the victim was six, was the victim asleep? What were the facts surrounding the use of the sex toy?
Okay, the victim was awake. This was in the bathroom of my apartment where I assaulted her using a sex toy.
And you said the victim was in the bathroom, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Were you bathing her? Was she using the toilet? Can you tell us a little bit more?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, she was in the bathroom, and I went in there after her.
And with regard to your conviction, was this a jury trial? Did you plead guilty or no contest?
I believe I pled guilty.
Okay. And approximately how much time lapsed between the offense and you pleading guilty?
I believe I was in county jail during my trial for about 10, 11 months, and it was from the beginning where my attorney advised me to...
Oh, that's not what I mean.
I'm sorry.
How much time lapsed between the incident in which the sex offense occurred and you being arrested?
Oh, it was just within a matter of days, less than a week, actually. I believe it was about 4 days.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes. Could you explain to me what you were thinking on why you did this?
I was just thinking of myself and my own personal gratification at the time. I have no excuse for my actions of what I did. I wish I hadn't thought that way. I wish I hadn't reacted that way or responded in such that fashion. And I feel very bad about what I did.
Does anyone else? Go ahead, I'm sorry, Renee.
Could we hear from Officer Abel if you can correlate this?
Commander Abel?
He's muted. I'm waiting for him to unmute.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, exactly how he said it happened is how the event took place.
Mr. McGowan?
I have a question for Commander. Oh, am I seeing this right? Originally, the charge was first-degree sexual assault of a child, though?
Let me look at, I don't know if I have the charging history in here, what we referred. I'll pull up the case.
Yes, that is correct. It was originally first-degree sexual assault.
Yes, we had referred first-degree sexual assault to the district attorney's office.
Okay.
Can you describe the treatment that you've had?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to retrieve or receive treatment while I was in Waupun Correctional Institution or Oshkosh Correctional Institution. It wasn't made available to me at the time because of my duration or my time remaining there. However, I am currently in treatment with Dr. Jim Drake of Family Services, and we're working together to help me accept and understand the responsibility for my actions and their consequences to others. To reconcile how my thoughts can lead to words or feelings or actions, and just how they can affect others, those close to me, even those distant from me. And I'm learning a lot about understanding how my actions affect others. I'm learning a great deal about how empathy works, and it's a process, but I'm learning every day more and more about myself and how I can better myself and be better towards other people.
So what I read was that you started treatment in September of 2019, is that correct?
That is correct, yes ma'am.
But you've been participating in telehealth during COVID?
With Dr. Jim Drake, we've been communicating over the phone. I talk to him once a week. We talk for about 50 minutes to an hour. I'm doing that regularly. I'm currently on my prescribed medications. I'm taking those regularly as well too.
And what type of is that prescribed as part of your treatment?
No, unfortunately, that is not part of my treatment. These are other medications for other issues.
Okay, thank you. Let's see.
I have a question. So prior to COVID, were you participating in a group with Dr. Drake?
I was participating with Dr. Jim Drake one-on-one for treatment and counseling sessions. We thought it would be more beneficial to me to have one-on-one.
Okay.
Also, if I may add too, please, may I?
Sure.
My partner, Brian Blodgett, who was just on with you, he also joins me with Dr. Drake in our sessions as for couples therapy to help keep us open, transparent, and understanding of each other's needs and wants.
Now, go ahead.
We have your letter from Dr. Drake here, and he mentions that you appear to be starting to make progress when looking at ownership dynamics related to your overall abusive behaviors towards your victim. Can you elaborate on exactly what that means?
Yes. At first, about my crime, I wasn't accepting it. I wasn't understanding. I wasn't holding any responsibility towards myself regarding that. I was blaming others rather than myself for putting myself in a position of my own device. And now I am learning that nobody put myself into this position but me. I need to take ownership and recognize how I put myself into this, that this is what I brought on to me, and as a result, I've hurt other people with this.
Have you talked to your parole agent about when you're going to start your sex offender treatment?
That hasn't been brought up yet. As far as like when to start a sex offender treatment, I'm currently working with Jim Drake right now, and we're kind of working our way more and more into addressing my sexual offense and how to learn from it and, work with it and just make myself a better person so I don't reoffend.
And what about group?
I'm currently not in any group right now. I am looking forward to starting a group. I want to talk to Jim Drake some more about that once we're settled with our treatment and our counseling. And I'd like to find out some of his recommendations, or my probation officer, Marta Lazansky, what she has as far as recommendations go. I'm very open and receptive to any treatment or any group therapy. I just want to learn from my mistakes and make myself a better person. I don't want to hurt anybody.
Can I just ask you on the form that you had to fill out, under asking for treatment, under sex offender you write none, but then you are seeing Jim Drake.
Right, I didn't know if that was actual sex offender treatment because it's not an actual group, so I wasn't sure what to put down. I didn't want to put any misleading information on there, so I just put none as on there goes, because I'm just in there for counseling and other treatment. I didn't want to put anything misleading on there or misrepresent myself in any way. I apologize if that's how it came across.
Just curious.
Okay.
Are you working right now?
I'm not working right now. Unfortunately, I've been in a car accident some years ago, and I'm currently in physical therapy. I'm seeing a chiropractor regularly, and I have surgeries scheduled for my shoulder, my neck, and my spine coming up. So I'm going to be, out of work for a little bit. I am still currently doing job research, career building skills, and I'm currently enrolled with Forward Service Corporation, food share employment training. And so far I've successfully completed a 120-hour call center professionals job skills training. I have an 80-hour CLT mid-level logistics technician certified through the Manufacturing Skills Standards Council. I've completed job skills essentials and workplace essentials since my release, and I currently engage every Thursday from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. With Forward Service Corporation and food share employment training for motivational workshops, job training, and further education for employment.
Does anyone else have any additional questions for Mr. McGowan? Or any concerns? I will tell you that, well, first of all, is there anyone there to speak on your behalf?
Yes, ma'am, if I may, please. May I pass the computer?
Sure, of course.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi, yes, could you tell us your full name and tell us where you reside?
She froze. Terry Tremmel.
And can you spell that, please?
Treml.
You froze up for a minute. Could you repeat that, please?
Terry is Terri, Tremmel, Treml.
And what would you like to inform us about?
Well, Barb and I are roommates, and I've gotten to know Sean. I'm one of his sponsors. We have no problem with any drugs or alcohol. He's always helping whenever he can. And he's getting ready to get out there in the job field.
Does anyone have any questions for Mrs. Tremmel or Ms. Tremmel? Thank you very much, Ms. Tremmel.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mr. McGowan, do you have anyone else that wishes to speak on your behalf?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I will tell you my concern
Yes, ma'am.
is that you have not had any sex offender treatment at all.
Okay.
And I understand that you are in individual sessions with Mr. Drake, but that's not the same necessarily as having a group treatment.
Yes,
where
ma'am.
people hold each other, offenders keep each other accountable or hold each other accountable. And adding to that is when you have the burden of not necessarily a new relationship, but a new relationship in which you're living with one another when you haven't done that before is a concern. And the fact that even though you both started out in a place where you were in denial about what you had done,
Yes, ma'am.
and that is something that you're still working through. So those are my concerns.
If I may say something, please.
Sure.
Brian Blodgett is probably my biggest support system and my biggest support network. I may stay at the sister's house 6 nights out of the week here in Alloway, but 1 night out of the week I stay with Brian at his place. But during the daytime, I'm with Brian at his place, and we spend a lot of our time together. Very deeply, very intimately. We talk about everything together, and we even discuss what we're going through, what we're learning, any of our trials or tribulations. And he helps me with my accountability for my actions and my crime. He's opened my eyes in this past year to understanding and accepting the responsibility of my crime, my actions, and their consequences.
Oop, you froze up there for a second. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's not your fault.
But like I was saying, Brian's been very supportive in helping me with you know, accepting responsibility and taking accountability for my crime, my actions, and how it's affected others. I'm sorry, my computer keeps freezing. I think there's something with my Wi-Fi connection.
It happens. Does anyone else have any comments or questions or concerns? Okay, would anyone like to propose a motion?
I'm gonna make a motion to deny Mr. McGowan, to 330, was it?
332 South Chestnut,
Yes.
is there a second?
I will second.
I want to be sure, so this is for denial.
Correct, a vote for yes means denial. Rachel, you're muted.
Motion passes 3-2.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. McGowan, you've been denied. Your request to move to 332 South Chestnut has been denied. However, that doesn't mean you can't apply again. Okay, and yeah. Okay.
Okay, when could I reapply, please?
Anytime.
Okay.
But
There has to be a
I'm
change
sorry.
in circumstances.
Oh, I'm sorry, change in circumstances. So I would say based on some of the comments that I made, I don't know if anyone else wishes to provide any additional commentary, but if you take anything that I said, that would probably constitute a change in circumstance.
Okay, thank you very much for your time and your consideration. I appreciate everything.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Yes, thank you.
One moment, please.
Hello?
Yep, one moment, please. The next up is Curtis Brabs. Mr. Brabs, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, one moment, please. Okay, Mr. Brabs, you are requesting to move to 1950 Fiesta Lane, Green Bay. The last time, yes, the last time you were before the board, we granted you okay, this is a 90-day return, I believe?
It's a 30-day.
No.
Oh, 30 days.
You just got to put the documentation in.
Right, I recall, and then you provided proof to the law department, to Deanna, she sent that to us, correct? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Brass?
Yeah.
Okay, so you provided proof of your treatment to the law department, correct?
Yeah, everything was faxed in.
Okay, okay, just,
$1.06.
hello?
Hello?
Yes. Just so we're all clear, in the event things come, you're asked additional questions because some members of the board may not have been here during your last hearing. If the conversation or the discussion goes to or starts on to the area of your crime, please do not mention the victim's name or your relationship to that victim. And if we go into discussing your treatment, would you like to discuss that in public or in private session?
Private.
Private session?
Or, public, it don't matter.
Public? I don't, whatever you like.
Public. Yeah, go ahead, public, it's okay.
Okay. Let's see. And, let's see, I'm reviewing this again. So the letter that was dated and the assessment that we received, the most recent was dated August 5th of this year, and that you are progressing well. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Brass? Oh, no questions? How about, okay. That being said, is there anybody that you want to speak on your behalf?
No.
Okay, and so does anyone have any motions? May.
I'll make a motion to approve address specific to 1950 Fiesta Lane.
Oh, second.
Should have the vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, Mr. Brass, you have been approved to reside at 1950 Fiesta Lane. Would you like the documentation sent to you at that address?
Yes.
The approval? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye. Next, the next appellant is Stephen Fisher. Mr. Fisher, are you on the line?
Yes.
Okay, one moment.
Sorry, I'm currently at work right now at the same time.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Fisher, just for a brief review, if we discuss the facts of the underlying criminal offense, please do not state the name of your victim, nor discuss or tell us about the relationship you had to that victim. For example, don't mention or state that the person was your brother or sister or aunt or uncle.
Yep.
Okay, and also if with regard to your treatment, would you like to discuss that in private session or in public session?
Public's fine.
Okay. Now, I just want to make sure I understand this. It appears as though you were previously approved to live at 1426 Eliza Street, correct?
Yes.
And am I reading this right in that you are asking to be approved again to the same address?
No, it's actually 1427 Eliza Street. It's a house that's right across the street from us.
Okay. Okay, so. Yeah, because for some reason that information was blocked out on your application.
I don't know how.
Oh, Melissa?
It's blocked out.
Yeah?
It's typed above where it says age relationship of those you plan to live with. I tried to highlight it and it wouldn't let me highlight it in Adobe.
Yeah, okay, thank you,
Here.
I got it now, okay. All right. Quick question, do any of the board members wish to hear about the underlying facts of the criminal offense, the sex offense?
I don't need to.
No.
Okay. And does anyone have any questions for Mr. Fisher about his treatment?
No.
No? Okay, so would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Mr. Fisher to 1427 Eliza Street, address specific.
Is there a second?
I second.
You should have the vote. Motion passes 4-0 to 1.
Huh?
I have to abstain. Stephen, I think you'll understand why I had to abstain, right?
No, I'm not exactly sure.
I was your principal.
For East High School?
Yes.
Yeah, growing up, I wasn't in the best of mind. I'm a lot better now.
You look better.
Well, that says something the principal remembers, Neil.
I'm not detention in my...
Okay, well, okay.
I remember
Mr.
all my students.
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mr. Fisher, you've been approved to 1427 Eliza Street. Would you like the approval document sent to you at that address or your current address?
Send it to the 1426 Eliza.
Okay.
Because it's, we finally are settling on the house. I think they're gonna try between the 24th and the 28th of August.
Okay.
We're
All right.
buying.
I'm sorry?
We're buying the house.
Okay. All righty, well, that's it. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. All right, next up, can somebody, as a heads up, take over for momentarily for me? I can start with Mr. Daniel Hebb. Do I have a volunteer?
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Hebb, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Hebb, I'm just going to tell you or remind you, if we discuss the facts of your case, please do not mention the victim's name nor mention your relation to that person. For example, please don't say whether that person's your brother, your sister, your child, what have you. And if we discuss the facts of, or your treatment, would you like to discuss that in a public session or a private session?
Public will be okay.
Okay, and just, I want to be sure I understand this. It appears as though you're requesting to change apartments at 521 South Oakland from apartment 3 to apartment 1?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Based on that information, would anybody like to ask any questions of Mr. Hebb?
No.
Okay. And would anybody like to ask any questions about Mr. Hebb's treatment? No? And so it's clear Mr. Hebb has already been before the board previously for that specific street address, just a different apartment number. And would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve Mr. Hebb address specific, 521 Oakland, Apartment 1.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Right, you should have the vote.
waiting for Renee's vote.
I don't have it. I made the motion, so I would do
Yes.
that.
Okay. Motion passes unanimously.
Here's it now.
Okay, Mr. Hebb, you've been approved to change apartments in your building. Would you like the approval documentation sent to your address at apartment 1 or apartment 3?
Apartment 3 for now. I didn't change my mailing address yet.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, and next up board is Cody DeGrave. Hello?
Hi.
Okay, Mr. DeGrave, I don't know if you've been listening to the other hearings, but if we discuss the facts of the underlying offense, please be sure not to mention the victim's name or your relationship to that person. In addition to that, would you like to talk about your treatment plan or your treatment in public session or private?
Public's fine.
Okay. And it also appears that you were last before the board on April 11th, 2018. Is that okay?
Right.
And you wish to move from?
From 2636 Hazelwood Lane.
Yeah. To 884 Shawano Avenue, correct?
Correct.
Is Hazelwood Lane in Green Bay?
Yeah. Yep.
How did you get from where we approved you in Vanderbrack to Hazelwood to see us?
Well, my probation officer, I told my probation officer, I said, well, I gotta put in, cause she knows I live here. And I told her I had to put in here. She said, my PO told me, she said, no, you don't need, she goes, you were already for 2636 Hazelwood Lane. You don't need to do it again.
I'm showing that he was approved to reside at 2636 Hazelwood Lane back in 2017.
Right, and I was gonna ask my PO for the papers to go in front of you. She said, no, you don't need to do that again. You were already approved for that address.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
The new address that I'm going to live at is my sister's house, and actually, the only reason I have to move is because the father of my stepdaughter, pretty much, I've been with this woman for 13 years, and he hasn't been around in 10 years, and he wants to start problems, and so he contacted my PO, which had no problem with me living here with the kids, and made a big deal and said, I don't want him around my daughter. So there's nothing that the probation officers can do. She said, I can't. She goes, Cody, you can't stay there anymore. So I have to move out of my home and go live with my sister until I'm off probation.
And when does your probationary term, the probation end?
Another a year and a half, 2 years or something like that.
Okay. Okay, with regards to the underlying offense, does anyone have any questions? No. I note that you picked up a new case in 2019, is that correct?
That's correct. I was at the time I was smoking marijuana at the time, and I was scared to go see my probation officer, so I ended up absconding from my probation officer. And during that time, SORP had sent me some papers in the mail, and I didn't send the papers back to them, and they charged me for it.
Okay. Okay, and that was up in Oconto?
No, that was actually, that's a theft case.
Okay,
That all stemmed around, my drug addiction back then too. I had, went through, several drug treatments.
okay. And I'm showing you in 2019, it was failure to provide information as a.
That's what I was referring to.
Okay. Okay, it was a 2019 case. How long were you considered, did you not report?
Like 3 weeks or something, or a month or something, couple months. I don't remember. It was not long.
Okay. And then the year before that was the theft of movable property. Okay.
See, so I was in jail for 14 months on all of that, and during that time, they charged me with that felony.
Okay.
Well, they didn't charge. They didn't charge me for quite a long time.
All righty. Let's see. And are you working now?
Not yet. I pour concrete. Then everything's kind of been pretty slow in the fields that I work in.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? And does anyone have any questions about Mr. DeGrave's treatment? I have a question about, so you, are you in rehab, or have you done any relapse work?
Yes, I've done aftercare and I've completed it all with my probation agent. So I don't have any. She doesn't. I don't have to. I'm not in any groups anymore or nothing like that. And years ago, I seen Jim Drake, but they decided that I didn't need that anymore. So I've been doing pretty good. You know, I do pretty well. I got a good family. You know, I've been with the same woman for 13 years. She's got a good career. So it's just, everything's pretty well.
All right. And is there anyone here to speak on your behalf?
Sure, Mike.
Hello. And could you tell us what your name is and spell it, please?
Kristen, Kristin, Grodhagen, Brodhagen.
Okay, and your address, please?
2636 Hazelwood Lane.
Okay, and what would you like for us to know?
Well, just everything that he said. He went through his treatment, and as far as I'm concerned, he's been sober since summer of 2018, so I think things are good.
Okay. Alrighty, is there anyone else that is going to speak on your behalf?
No.
No.
Okay, would anyone like to make a motion?
Yes, I'll move that we approve Mr. DeGrave. We approve Mr. DeGrave to 884 Shawano Avenue, address specific.
I'll second that motion.
All right, you should have the vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, Mr. DeGrave, you've been approved to move to, 884 Shawano Avenue in Green Bay. Would you like the approval documents sent to you, or would you like them sent to, at that address, or at the Hazelwood Lane address?
I can still send the Hazelwood Lane address.
Okay. All righty, well, do you have a question?
No, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Heidi, could you just take over, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Next, we're going to hear the appeal of Gerald McCormick. Gerald, can you hear us?
He needs to unmute. I just tried to
I can
unmute.
hear you.
Gerald, do you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so, you are requesting to move to 2224 Imperial Lane, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And, let me just get there. You were last before the board in March of 2018, living at 2224 Imperial Lane, apartment number 2, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And basically, you're just asking to move to a different apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What happened that you became homeless?
Yes, ma'am, because, I got revocated, having sex without, reporting to my probation officer.
What happened?
I have sex without reporting it to my probation officer.
You had sex?
Yeah, with a female without reporting it to my probation officer. Cause I'm supposed to report it anytime I have sex to my probation officer, but that time I didn't report it. So I did 10 months in jail for it.
Okay.
And when did you get out?
I got out, March 31st. Then I lived in a TLP for 2 months.
And why didn't you report it?
Huh? I understand. What you say?
Why didn't you report it to your parole officer if you were supposed to?
Oh, it happened. It wasn't a plan for me to have sex. It was a female I got into it with her boyfriend, and I went over and picked her up that night, and then we had sex. But it wasn't nothing. I was planning on doing it.
Well, okay.
My son had graduated that day, so I went to my son's graduation. It was like 9 o'clock at night. I got home from the graduation. Then she called me. Her and her boyfriend got into it. So she told me, asked me, could I come and pick her up? And then I went and picked her up. And then we talking about what's going on with her and her boyfriend. Then she got in her feelings, started crying. And she asked me to hug her and hold her. And then next thing you know, things led on to that.
Well, then, do you have to report it beforehand or after?
Before.
Okay.
You have to report to your PO that you're going to have sex?
Yes.
I never heard of that, so, okay.
I did 10 months in jail.
Okay. Okay, so, you have been before, Melissa, do you still need me to take over? Or?
Yeah, if you just want to finish. Thank you.
So, you have been to before us a couple different times. Does anyone on the board want to hear him repeat his criminal history, his sexual history, or his treatment? I know some of you probably weren't around when this happened the first time.
I'm fine.
Okay. Does anyone want to make a motion already?
Does he have anyone to speak for him?
Yeah, Gerald?
Well, my daughter's here right here.
Or does she want, how old is she? Does she want to speak on your behalf?
Yes, I'm 26.
Okay, ma'am, you just need to state your name, and spell your last name, and your address for the record, please.
Okay, my name is Kavana, that's K-A-V as in Victor, O-N-N-A, last name McCormick, and I reside at 929 Division Street in Green Bay.
Okay. And what do you have to say?
I just want to say that, yeah, he may have some rough patches in the beginning, but my father, he's very dependable for me and my brothers. And I've moved out here because so I can get closer to my father. And I think that, you know, since it's just an apartment change, it's still the same building, that he should be able to stay there, and we would really appreciate that.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for her? No? Okay. Anyone?
Besides the having sex without approval, have you had any other troubles?
No. No, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything.
I'll make a motion, unless somebody else has questions. I'll make a motion to approve address specific, 2224 Imperial Lane, apartment number 1, Green Bay.
I second that.
You should have the vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, Mr. McCormick, you're approved to move to that address. You know, if you move, you need to contact us again. Do you want us to mail that to the new apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, have a good day. Oh, yeah. All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, looks like we're done there. Do we have any, thing that we need to talk about?
I'm not sure if the minutes for last month's meeting were approved at the beginning of the meeting.
Oh, we'll go back and, does anyone want to make a motion to approve the minutes from the, July 8th meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I'll just mark that as all yes.
Okay. Okay, does anyone have anything that they want to talk about? I do. Sorry. So I'm kind of curious if there's rules or, and what kind of brings this up is the fact that you abstained from the vote, because you were the principal to that person. Was that just like, I guess I'm just curious, like, how long ago was that? Why, is there a rule that we have to abstain from certain things? Because you knew?
I was aware of the incident at the time, and I just believed it was better to abstain. I had too much firsthand information on that incident.
Okay, and I guess that was my, thank you, because I was then kind of nervous, like, you know, I know a lot of these offenders from both of my jobs that I've had, and I'm wondering if I should have been abstaining from some of those votes, but that makes it clear for me.
Yeah, no, there have been a number of them that I too have known from, you know, having been their principal or knowing their families, what have you, that sort of thing. But in this situation, I remember that one, and I thought it best that I just abstain.
Okay, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Everything is the fairest thing for Stephen.
Okay.
If anyone has a conflict of interest, that would require a personal stake in the outcome of the vote. If that ever comes up, you should absolutely abstain. If there's a situation where you're not comfortable placing a vote, you have the option to abstain as well.
Okay.
Kind of like an appearance of impropriety, or an appearance of, yeah, erring on the side of caution, yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else they would like to talk about?
Have a great weekend.
We need a motion to adjourn.
Oh, I'll move it. I'll move.
Second to that.
All in favor?
I can mark, do a voice vote on that?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are good to go.
All right.
Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.
See you all. Hi, Faye, how are you doing?
Doing fine. Good to see you.